Well, this time last season, the Lions were vying for the top seed in the NFC. However, this year, it's going to be a battle just to get into the playoffs. The Lions were in LA taking on the Rams and hoping to make it 3 straight against Matthew Stafford. The Lions held strong in the first half, but the second half was a totally different story. They fell to the Rams 41-34. That means we are no longer in control of our own playoff destiny. As always, joining me to break down the Lions' wins or losses is Derek Hutchinson, the EP over on clickondetroit.com and co-host of our weekly sports video podcast, Detroit Sports Plus. I was so happy going into halftime, and then I took some time away, got some chores done, walked back and said, what happened here?
Yeah, they went up 10, right? And they were feeling really good, and then it just all completely fell apart. I mean, it felt like the Lions were going to have to score on pretty much every drive to stay in that game. So the minute that they blinked, it felt like the Rams just kind of took off.
When you look at the game, at least in my opinion, I don't think it's a conversation about bad offense.
No.
I think it's a conversation about bad defense.
Yeah, when you put up 30-plus points in the NFL, you should win most of those games.
Right.
But when you give up 500 yards, you're almost never going to win. So, yeah, I mean, this defense, the front seven was as healthy as it's been for months. And they still just weren't able to get enough pressure, make Matthew Stafford uncomfortable enough to help out that injured secondary.
You know, of course, and it's Stafford. There's a storyline there, but I think we're kind of over that at this point.
Yeah, especially because now he's the 1 seed. You kind of just don't want to talk about it anymore. But yeah, I think Jared Goff said it best. Like, they were asking him about, returning to LA this week, and he was like, are we still talking about this? Like, he's been in Detroit. Like, he is a Detroiter now, and Stafford, he's been in LA for so long. Like, I think that storyline has mostly played out, and it's more about, the Lions trying to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Okay, which is my next question for you. I'm concerned. I mean, we've got our home game against the Steelers this Sunday, which at this point could be our last home game.
It probably will. I mean, even if the Lions do find a way to sneak into the playoffs, they're most likely going to be a wild card team, which means they won't. There's almost no way for them to get a home game. So, yeah, this is probably their last home game. And the Lions honestly haven't played that well at home recently. So, I mean, they lost to the Vikings at home. They lost to the Packers on Thanksgiving. So, really, Ford Field has not been that much of an advantage.
So, you're looking at the lineup for the next 3 games, Steelers, Vikings, Bears.
Yes.
Are we winning any of these?
I think the Lions have a good chance to win each of them.
Okay.
The problem is they have to win all of them.
Right.
And when you put yourself in a position where you have no more mulligans, that's a really tough spot to be in the NFL. I mean, we came into this season talking about the Lions' goal was going to the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Now they have to win 6 in a row to even have a chance to get to the Super Bowl. So that's a really, really tough spot. And you never want to be relying on other teams in the NFL because anything can happen. So now the Lions, they need a little bit of help from either the Bears or the Packers. There are some avenues where they could get in over the Seahawks and the 49ers, but those are much less likely. So, they're up against a wall right now.
Are there any scenarios where we go 11-6 in the season, in your mind?
Yeah, I think it's possible. Sure. I think that the Lions just played the best team in the NFC pretty tough. I mean, they had a little bit of the third quarter was rough offensively, but other than that, they looked like a team that belonged in that game.
Right.
And the Rams are a much better team than, in my opinion, the Steelers and Vikings, and probably the Bears as well. So if the Lions can just take care of business against the Steelers at home and a Vikings team that they had no business losing to in the first place, they at least set up a de facto playoff game in Week 18 in Chicago if the Bears lose one of the next 2.
Right. So if you're Dan Campbell, what are you doing to reset the defensive line then?
The defensive line is basically at this point a lost cause, in my opinion. I mean, you're basically just praying that Aiden Hutchinson makes a play. The Lions just need to do what they did last year when they were dealing with all these injuries, which is make 1 or 2 big plays on defense. They got that yesterday. They got the pick from Aiden Hutchinson. They forced a couple punts, but then the offense has to be elite. I mean, and without Sam Laporta and with a little bit of a weaker offensive line, that's a tougher ask this year than it was last year, but that's just the situation that they find themselves in.
I do want to skew away from the Lions just for one quick moment here. The golden child of the NFL, the Chiefs, out of the playoffs. The first time since 2014.
Crazy. Yeah, it's going to be you've just come so accustomed to seeing Patrick Mahomes in those AFC playoffs and just assuming that he'll find a way to get to the Super Bowl. So it's going to be really jarring that, the AFC is going to be represented by someone else this year.
Right. And now he's got a torn ACL, so who knows how he
who knows what next year looks like, honestly. Yeah.
Okay, Derek Hutchinson, thanks, man. Appreciate that.